Hello again and welcome to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by upshiftstore.co.uk, digitalmotorsports.com and Pineapple Grips. So we're at the world famous Spa-Francorchamps circuit in Belgium, home of the Formula 1 Belgium Grand Prix. This is round 3, race 1 coming up for you, and 30-minute races, 2 of them tonight, so as the usual format. So let's get to the grid then. So pole position, we've got Wadru, got Paul in 2nd, Chuck in 3rd, Jerry 4th, Thomas 5th, Chand in 6th, Molson 7th, Rodders in 8th, Unforgiven in 9th, and Ginger in 10th. A couple of the guys going with just the softs, that's Unforgiven and Thomas. Everyone else going with the super soft for race 1, the first 30-minute race. So let's get to this action then, let's get this underway. So watch the lights go to green. As soon as they change, we'll be away. So revs are up, and we should be away any second now. And it's a good start by everybody, I think it is. Yeah, all the way clean. As they head up to turn 1. Audrey, Paul, Chuck, Jerry on the outside. I think Jerry might have got him, you know. Jerry does go around the outside of Chuck, so Jerry drops into 3rd. So Wadru, Paul, Jerry, that's the top 3 at the moment, with Chuck in 4th, Chan in 5th, with Thomas close behind in 6th. So we head up this fast straight section now, up to the right hander. Paul having a look, Paul's out, can he get past Wadru? I think he's there, you know. Yeah, he's going to, nice clean move up the inside, he's going to get there. He does, so Paul into the lead, and I think Jerry's got Chuck too, or Chuck has got him. No, Jerry, so Jerry as well. He goes up to 3rd again. I think Chuck momentarily got 3rd, but Chuck gets it back. Jerry gets it back, sorry, Chan. Having a look up the inside of Chuck. Does he get there? Does he get himself up to 4th? He does. So Chan then, through to 4th. Chuck back to 5th. Molson just behind him in 6th. And Rodders in 7th. Thomas in 8th, dropped back to 8th from 6th there. So got tied up in a little bit of an issue somewhere there, dropped back a couple of spots, Unforgiven with a small penalty, which will get off with no problem at all. And then Ginger in 10th at the back there, just trying to hang on. It's a great track this, great venue, great facilities, and the track, as you'd expect, being a Formula 1 track, is set up perfectly for this type of racing in these cars. So Paul then, and Wadru just pulling a small gap now on Jerry in 3rd. Chan chasing Jerry down. Chuck also there, so 3 fighting for 3rd, 4th and 5th already. Jerry, no. Chan, is he going to be up the inside? Don't think so, or is he? Oh, it's neck and neck, you know, as Chan's got there. I think Chan has got there, he has. So Chan just gets his nose there into 3rd, but Jerry will have the inside line coming up here to the right-hander. Can he get the tighter line inside of Chan? No, he can't. So Chan gets himself to 3rd then. Jerry drops back down to 4th. Three. Head up the hill, and these 2. Oh, Wadru goes wide. Now he could get a penalty for that. If you're exceeding track limits out there, so he could get one. And there he goes, half a second penalty for Wadru for exceeding track limits. A little bit harsh because he didn't really gain anything, in fairness. He was still behind Paul, but the game thought, being that he's gone off, that it was worthy of penalty, but they'll get rid of that, no problem. So Wadru then 2nd. Chan to keep with him and try and capitalise, and that's easy for me to say, on the penalty that he's got to get rid of. It should be easy enough around the slow hairpin type bends, should get rid of that, no problem at all. Shouldn't lose a spot there, if I'm honest. So Chan then 3rd, Jerry keeping with him in 4th. Jerry looks like he's got some bit of pace in that car. Really on the back of Chan now. He's going to go around the outside. He's going to be on the outside for this next right-hander, so it's not going to work there. So remains in fourth, does Jerry. Roger still carrying that small penalty. Chuck still there too. So actually, and Thomas has got himself back up to sixth. So Thomas. Oh, Chuck goes a bit wide. Is he going to get a penalty for that? You can go out there, but I'm not too sure myself how far you can without getting a penalty. But looks like he's got away with it. So that's fine. Thomas though, really on the back of Chuck now. Thomas just picked up the pace a bit. He's going to go round. Well, he's on the outside of Chuck, but he could be on the inside. If he stays where he is, going to be on the inside for this next left-hander. He does, great move. That was the old Jerry move from a couple of seasons back. Go on the outside, get yourself on the inside. Great move from Thomas, nice and clean from the boys. Molson as well. Now, looking at the back of Chuck. Can he get himself up to sixth place? Little twitch there from Molson, but no biggie. And Ginger's. Oh, sorry, no, that's Rodders. Rodders is being handed by Unforgiven. In 8th and 9th, Unforgiven is caught up on the back of Rodders. Going to have a look, try and get in the slip here. In fact, no, not going to bother, he's just going to pull out straight away. He's got enough of that, he's on the inside, just stay on the inside. Coming up here for this right-hander. Gets back inside, so comfortably past Rodders there before the bend. So Unforgiven up to 8th. Rodders 9th, and Ginger just off the back of them, just falling back a little bit. It's Ginger in 10th. Long way to go, of course, 5 minutes in this race. It's the 30-minute race, remember. Back up top then, and Wadru, he got back that lead from Paul, so he did get past him at some point, missed it, but Wadru then, now's his cue for him to clear off. It normally is when he goes out in front, but Paul's doing everything he can to try and stick with him. If you can just stay with him, he's got half a chance of getting a good result here. Sticking with him and staying with him, two completely different things. But Paul's got a bit of a gap back to Chand, who's still under pressure from Jerry. There he is, so looks like these two are going to be going at it, hammer and tongs till the end. Because Roger and Paul are still just a little bit away in front of them, and naturally we're kind of getting three groups of two, aren't we? You've got Roger and Paul, then these two, Chand and Jerry, and then we've got Thomas and Chuck, so literally three groups of two here, and then a small gap back to Molson, who's getting a little bit isolated on his own now in 7th. Chand though, still feeling the pressure from Jerry. Jerry looking, going to get down in the inside, he's going to have a look, you know. No, he's not far enough up. It's an easy place to, or it's a good opportunity to pass. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's a good opportunity to make a spot. But you've got to be in the right place, obviously, to make that stick. Wasn't far enough up, was Jerry. Not then anyway. He's going to stick with him now, and Thomas has just pulled a few car lengths now from Chuck, and he's on the back of these two now. So Thomas is going to join the party. Going to get into the back of Chand's slip here. He can get up the inside of Jerry, which he's going to. He's going to get 4th place here for sure, is Thomas. He does. Good move again. Jerry, just ease Jerry out of the way a little bit, but clean as you like. Chuck is on the back of them too now, so 4 cars. There's Molson just coming into view. But these 4 now are all fighting for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. At the moment though, Chand still got it in 3rd. Still leading the pack. Paul and Wadru still in 1st and 2nd. Still pulling away too. The 2 in front are leaving these behind a little bit. Oh, little twitch from Thomas. Got him to put wheels on the strips there, rumble strips, and just lost it a little bit of traction, but got it back, no problem. So Thomas up to 4th now. Jerry 5th. Thomas trying all he can to get onto the back of Chand and get past him. Oh, sliding from Jerry round now, drifted it around the right-hander. Olsen absolutely wringing the neck out of that BMW as well to try and stick on the back of these, and he is keeping with them. because there's then quite a bit of a gap back to Unforgiven, who's pulling away from Rodders, who's in 9th, Ginger in 10th, Unforgiven really pushing it, trying to get on back of Molson if you can. Meanwhile, oh, and Chan, I think that was Jerry actually attacking Chan. Just drops back a bit, Jerry, now in the clutches of Chuck again. Chuck in the Ginster's car. And all you can to keep with Jerry. Oh, twitch from Unforgiven. Coming round that right hander, easily done there. You've got to be very careful. But a little twitch from him, but handled it well. Back here then with Jerry and Chuck though. Car absolutely weaving about, trying to keep its wheels on the ground, all that power going through it. See the traction working. Chuck, is he going to pull out here? No, didn't fancy it, not that time. Chan, no, he fancies it. He's on the back of Thomas still. He wants his 3rd place back to Chan. Oh, a little hop over the curb there from Chan. It's going to slow his progress a little bit. So lost a little bit of time there, but just going to drop him back into the clutches of Jerry a little bit. Thomas, meanwhile, just pulling away, courtesy of that little error by Chan. And then we've got Paul still in 2nd, but as you can see, Wadru is just getting away a little bit now. So is that the end of that? Have we seen the last of Wadru? Well, not us, but the other guys there. Is that the end of it? Could be off into the horizon, because it seems like he's certainly put the hammer down and he's off and running. Pauldo, he'll try and stick with him if he can, but 2nd's good for him at the moment. Here he is in 2nd. Thomas 3rd, Chan 4th. Jerry still fighting in 5th. Good through there, just sort of took that wide, squared the apex off a little bit, and put the power down. Chuck hasn't given up either, so Chuck in 6th. Seems to be back on the back of these two now, so here we go. Could be another little 3-car battle coming up, because the light had fizzled out a little bit, but it looks like Chuck's now back on the pace again. Oh, nearly loses it through there, absolutely flat through there. All the electronics working in the car at that point. Jerry again not quite far enough up to Chan. So, oh, now hang on, Chan's gone wide there, is he? Oh no, it's just a line. He certainly looked like he just got a bit wide, give the opportunity to Jerry, but he didn't. So Chan then still 4th. And actually looks like they're catching Thomas again. Or was it the camera? Maybe it was just the camera, but anyway, he's in 3rd. So Molson then, let's go back to see Molson, see how he's getting on. Well, runs a little bit wide there, but he's doing his best to hang on to him, but he can't quite get there yet. But he hasn't got any pressure really from behind at the moment. Unforgiven's there, but he's not close. But again, still only 30 minutes into this race, so perhaps some of the guys are just taking it a little bit easy in his first 15 minutes. Because there is a certain degree of, as we see Rodders going over the strips there, flat out. There's a certain degree of fuel saving they've got to look at doing here in race 1. Oh, and Rodders with a little twitch. Nearly lost it. Keeps it on the black stuff though. And Ginger, some way back, but in 10th. But he'll be okay with that. Well, he won't be okay with that, but if 10th place points, it's certainly going to score something. He's wiggling about a bit there. I don't know. His tyres must be warm enough now. I wouldn't have thought he'd needed to. Or is the electronics just not quite right in that car? I'm not sure, but a little bit of wiggling from Ginger that's not going to make him go quite as quick, is it? Never mind. So back up the top then, or near the top, we've got Thomas only third, Chan fourth still, Jerry fifth, Chuck sixth. Actually, all quite evenly matched at the moment as they head up the straight. Let's have a look up top and see what's happening. Well, we know what's happening. Wadru's out there, of course, don't we? But giving it everything he's got at the moment by the looks of it. Paul in second. Again, fairly comfortable at the moment. No pressure from behind. Looks like he's given all he can in terms of keeping with Wadru. Just kind of hoping that Wadru will make a mistake, but that's a collector's item. Don't get many of them to the pound, and you'd be lucky if you get one a season. I think he's already had one this season, so he ain't going to do another one. But Paul will still be open. Well, it might happen. Thomas will keep chasing Paul down the course. We know what Tom's is all about. Another guy with a lot of pace once he gets going, once he gets clear out of all the mess, and he'll put his head down, focus, and Paul could be in a bit of a threat by the time the 30 minutes is up, so Paul's going to have to be a little bit aware of what Thomas is doing behind him. And there's these three, Chan, Jerry, Chuck, all still fighting it out, but particularly these two haven't really left each other's side, have they, these first 15 minutes or so. Chuck's, he's also in it here, so what a battle we got here for 4th, 5th and 6th place. So Jerry again on the outside, always changes angle there a little bit, but still remains in 5th. I think Chan sort of cut his wide line off a little bit there, actually, just defended it. So Chan then, Jerry, Chuck. Now Chuck attacking Jerry. Can he do the switch back on him? Go out wide, come back on in the inside. No, clean through there. Jerry had that cover too, knew what he was looking at doing. Chuck though, gone on the outside, but he don't want to be on the outside through here unless you can get up the side of him and got past him by the time you get through this section here. Oh, it's neck and side by side through there, dangerous. But he does it, Chuck. What a move from Chuck. Has he kept it there though? He has. Wonderful move from Chuck. That's a good move through there. That's a dangerous spot to be passing. Could have wiped them both out there at that point, but he didn't. And Molson now on the back. That's a little battle heating up now. Molson wants to join in the fun. So Molson has got on the smack of him. Got away from Unforgiven now. There he is in the background. So this is where the battle is. On track, I think. So Molson, can he get himself up to 5th? Or if he can stick with him, get himself in the draft along the straight sections. Going to be with a real chance. Jerry though, he's attacking Chuck again. Oh, he's up. Oh, it was that little tap. I think he might have just tapped the back of Chuck a little bit, just knocked him off a little bit wide, but just slow down a little bit just to give Chuck the place, or keep Chuck where he was. What's the slightest of taps there? Nothing intentional, of course, but remains 5th then Chuck, Jerry 6th, Molson 7th. Now, this is where Molson could get a bit of slip. As they side by side from the boys in front. Now look at this battle free going up to this chicane, tight chicane, hard on the brakes now. Who's going to get there? Well, Jerry's got there. He has got there, around the outside, or has he? Chuck? No, Chuck still got it. What a battle this is. Great battle. Chuck remains in 5th though, Jerry 6th. Molson still sniffing around in 7th. Chuck's just pulled away. Nice little gap now. Back to these two. So now Jerry's under a bit of pressure from Molson from behind. Jerry won't give up on Chuck in front, of course, but Molson, well, he's just lost a couple of attempts there, hasn't he? Just through Cass and Jerry back on him, back on Chuck. That is 19 minutes into this race, so into the last 10 minutes almost now. Gone really quick. But Chuck hanging on. Ginsters, that pipe must be getting really hot now with the pressure he's got from behind. The boy from Cornwall, or the pie from Cornwall I should say, under real pressure. The heat is on from Jerry. Oh, Chuck tries to defend that inside line but lost it. Jerry gets there, not too sure. I think Chuck just ran wide there, lost it big time. Jerry, mate, takes advantage of that and now is pulled a bit of a gap now. Jerry back to Chuck, and now Chuck's going to be watching Molson behind him in 7th. Yeah, Chuck just got a little bit loose, a little bit out of shape. Got his angle wrong going into the right-hander. Had to let Jerry go past, otherwise there would have been a collision. He's back on it though, Chuck, isn't he? So, certainly hasn't given up 1/5 again. So there's the battle then. Molson just off the back of them. Unforgiven in 8th. Rodders 9th still. Ginger in 10th. Back up top then, Rodru. Oh, squiggly through there, but that's how much Hazard is pushing. Is Rodru. On the 10th lap now. And there's the gap back to Paul. Like a speck in the distance is Paul. It's Rodru still knocking out fastest sectors at the moment. No pressure again. And, well, I reckon he might have a, when he comes racing, I reckon he might have a library in his boot, because every time we go to him, he's, you know, he's got enough time to read a book, isn't he? So he must get through books like nobody's business. So maybe in the boot there is like a little library in there of his favourite selections. There's Paul. Well, comfortable in 2nd. I think, to be honest, with 8 minutes left of this race, he's not going to be catching Rodru. And as long as Thomas don't put him under any pressure, he's going to take 2nd place for sure. Points wise too. And there is Thomas, so he's not a million miles away, but there's the gap there. But again, I think the gap might be just a little bit too far to bridge. But we've seen funnier things, stranger things, haven't we, from these boys? Not over until the fat lady sings, as they say. So there's Thomas in 3rd. Back to Chand, who, after a battle with Jerry and Chuck for quite a bit of this race, has now got himself free into 4th. And again, I think he'll settle for that. Can't see him catching Thomas in front of him, if I'm honest. So 4th would be good for Chand. Jerry in 5th still. Well, Chuck hasn't given up on him, has he? But so the little battle still goes on. That's going to go on to the end, I think. 7 minutes left of this race. Molson, every time we come back to him, he seems to have just latched onto the back of them again, doesn't he? The guys in front, and he just kind of falls back a bit. So maybe he's quick through these fast sections, and then maybe not quite as quick through the twisty stuff. But nevertheless, he certainly hasn't given up, has he, throughout this race? So Molson in 7th. 2 though, still at it. 5th and 6th, and Chuck does fancy that 5th place back, doesn't he? As he's right back on the back of Jerry again. And why not? Oh, slides around there, Chuck. Nearly went, just kept that just about on the black stuff. You start getting at yourself on that green stuff, and very dirty out there. You could be kissing that position goodbye, and a couple more potentially. But anyway, still in 6th. Molson 7th, still there. And then Unforgiven, who, well, he has caught up with them, hasn't he, a little bit, but I think time is against him now. Just a little bit too little, too late, really, for Unforgiven. 5 minutes left, and he's really pushed hard to try and get onto the back of everybody else in front, particularly this little group in front of him, and he hasn't quite done it yet, has he? Rodders as well. Oh, and again, out wide as Rodders. Is that a penalty? Shouldn't be, not in my opinion anyway. No advantage gained by anything, not dangerous on anybody, so nah. So still in 9th then, and then Ginger, who has got a penalty, still some way back, and still that weaving problem. They need to sort that out before race 2, I think. Gonna have to get that in the garage. Maybe that's why he's dropped back so far, back into 10th, because he's just weaving about a little bit too much in my opinion, and not dangerous weaving, just doesn't seem to be tracking quite straight, does it, the car? So they'll have to have a look at that. Let's go back to that Chuck and Jerry battle though, to see how that's, well, it's not really a battle anymore, is it? Jerry's pulled away from Chuck. When I say pulled away, there's quite a big gap really. The way these have been going at it, that's almost gigantic gap, isn't it really? But well, he's still there though, isn't he, Chuck? Oh, and he's still there. So I think he's quick through that little sector, because last time we came to him when he was there, and he right on the back of Jerry. I think it's this next sector that he's not quite as quick through. Having said that, he did run wide a little bit last time, didn't he? But for me, sector 1 is good for Chuck. And actually, I was saying about these two, and they're on the back of Chan now, so all of a sudden Chan's come back into play. And what's happened to Chan? Has his tyres gone? Is he running out of fuel? Is he... Something's not right, because Chan has dropped right the way back into the clutches of Jerry and Chuck. And this could be exciting with the last 3 minutes of this race coming up. This is going to be the battle royale at the end. Everything else as it was. Wadru in first, Paul second, Thomas third. Then these 3. Then we've got Molson 7th, Unforgiven 8th, Rodders in 9th, and Ginger in 10th. Chuck then hand in the back of Jerry again. I'm intrigued to see what happens here, guys. Because Chan, who was looking comfortable in 4th. Perhaps I'll put the mockers on him again. Commentator's curse, saying how comfortable he looked out there, and he had no pressure. Suddenly, he's not very comfortable, and he's got loads of pressure. So there you go. I really must keep my mouth shut at times. Chan won't thank me for that, but it is what it is, and he's doing all he can to try and keep Jerry from passing him, but this could be the opportunity, because Jerry's going to get right in behind him up here, and if he can get... I mean, Chan's covering the inside line, so Jerry can't get up there. Jerry's going to come to the outside though, try and do the criss-cross on him. No, but I fancy it could be the tyres for Chan. Looks like he's sliding around a little bit. Pulls over again, defends that inside line around this right-hander. But Jerry is almost pushing him along. Chuck will be loving this too. Waiting for him to make a little mistake. He can fly right through. Jerry now, still looking. Now Jerry just needs to stay with him. Just stay with him. Don't need to take him until you get to a straight section, and then just go past if you can, but you don't want to be wiping each other out, not at this late stage in the race. Jerry's not that, they're all experienced drivers, so they wouldn't be doing that, but just need to stick with him. But of course, Jerry's under pressure from track as well, so Jerry's got to look at what he's doing up ahead, as well as what's happening on his rearview mirror as well. And it's Chuck in his rearview mirror who's giving him, and he's free going up there in a line almost, coming through this next section. As we come to the end of this race one, I think Paul and Wadru, maybe Thomas is going to get another lap in, but I don't think these boys are. Oh, and Chan picks up the penalty, and that's right, the last, not what you wanted at that point. Jerry goes through to fourth. Chan is going to drop back to sixth after all that. We are on the final lap, and in fact that was it. Jerry gets fourth, Chuck gets fifth, Chan gets sixth after all that. That penalty right at a bad time for Chan, unfortunate that from Chan. Gets sixth then. Molson with a good seventh. Unforgiven comes in eighth. Rod is in ninth. Ginger, well, was going to cross the line in 10th. But top three are still out there racing. Wadru, well, we got that one wrapped up. He had that wrapped up about 10 minutes ago, didn't he, really? Let's be honest. So he's going to get victory one tonight here in race one at Spa in Belgium. Paul, well, looks like he's got second as well. Don't think Thomas is going to. Thomas has caught up a little bit, but I think it is what it is now. These three will settle with what they've got. Certainly not close enough to each other to have any kind of battles going on. So let's go back with Wadru, watch him finish the lap, watch him come in for victory. I'm assuming everyone's okay with fuel with these three. Had a couple of instances of late where people have been running out of fuel at the end, and obviously not good, but Wadru doesn't look like he's going to be running out of fuel, does it? Coming into the last chicane now. Going to cross the line in first place. Well done for Wadru. Race one winner. Wadru in first then. Paul is going to come in second. Well done to Paul. Second place for him. And then Thomas in third. And there's your race one, guys. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time.